Hello everyone, it is now time for part 2 of my top 36 Mario Kart Wii vehicles. If you haven't checked out part 1, please go ahead and do so. So without further ado, here is my top 15. At number 15 we have the legendary Quacker. Now I was joking with someone in the comment section a couple days ago that this would be number 1. But Troy98, who I'm sure many of you have heard of, would no joke have the Quacker in the top 10 simply because it has inside drift. Now I'm not going to let inside drift be the end all be all with my ranking quite like Troy, but it is really important and the Quacker can take really crisp turns. However, it's pretty freaking slow and really light. At number 14 we have the Wario Bike. Now this bike doesn't do anything particularly well and it does have mediocre speed. But because it's a heavy bike that also doesn't have major flaws like the Quacker, it is ranked a spot higher. Well, the drifting can be an issue as the stat is pretty low, and unlike many of the other vehicles on this half of the list, it does not have inside drift, so the Wario Bike barely cracks the top 15. At number 13 we have the Off-Roader. Now this kart is a mauler as it is the second heaviest kart in the game. We'll get to the heaviest one in just a sec. Besides that, it has pretty solid stats everywhere else, and no major weaknesses except drift, which is made up for with its great handling. The only thing I wonder for the Off-Roader is, why does it not have OP off-road stats? At number 12 we have the Piranha Prowler. Now this kart is like the Jet Setter, but better. It's another fast and heavy kart, the heaviest in the entire game. However, it's not completely handicapped by its other stats like the Jet Setter, as the drift and handling here are manageable. So yeah, you can do some prowling with this particular kart. At number 11 we have the Honeycoupe. Are we getting tired of heavyweight karts yet? Don't worry, there's only one more. Now unlike the previous two, this has really solid stats everywhere where it counts. Above average speed, weight, drift, and mini turbo boosts. If only this thing was a bike with inside drift, it would be the best thing since sliced bread. At number 10 we have the Jet Bubble. It's our second inside drift vehicle and basically a better version of the Quacker. It's still quite light, but not as light as the Quacker, and its speed is much better as well. Overall it has very balanced stats with nothing it does particularly great or bad except for its weight. At number 9 we have the Flame Flyer. Now this is the last heavyweight kart and the second to last outside drifter. It has elite speed and obviously has great weight, but it also has really solid drift and mini turbo stats. It's a lot like the Honeycoupe, and although its weaker stats like acceleration are weaker than the Honeycoupe, the Flame Flyer is more elite where it counts, and that is speed. At number 8 we have the Shooting Star. Okay, so here's our last outside drift vehicle, but it has a special place in my heart. I had mained the Shooting Star for a very long time before I discovered the benefits of inside drift, and I still contend that this is the best vehicle without inside drift. First of all, it's a heavy bike, so those are inherent advantages. Secondly, it's above average in all the stats that count, like speed, drift, mini turbo boost. To me, this is the best outside drifting vehicle, and if you have a different opinion, please feel free to let me know in the comments. At number 7 we have the Sneakster. This is a very fast bike with inside drift. The rest of its stats are either mediocre or bad, but because it's a very fast bike with inside drift, the Sneakster is still quite a viable vehicle in Mario Kart Wii. At number 6 we have the Dolphin Dasher. It's quite a lot like the Sneakster as a medium weight bike with inside drift. It is significantly slower than the Sneakster, so you could argue the Sneakster is better. However, the Dolphin Dasher is better in pretty much every other stat, making it a more balanced choice. Thanos would be proud. At number 5 we have the Magic Cruiser. Now there's a lot of fun things about the Magic Cruiser. Now when I pointed out last week that the Tiny Titan had the highest off-road stat, someone corrected me. I was wrong. It is the Magic Cruiser, and oh boy, is the off-road almost indistinguishable with this thing. Besides that, it is an inside drift vehicle with very balanced stats. The only bad thing is because it's lightweight, obviously it's too light. But inside drift plus OP off-road makes for quite a fun ride. At number 4 we have a very interesting bike indeed, the Spear. As a heavy bike, that's the second fastest vehicle in the entire game, and also has inside drift. The Spear really has some built-in advantages where it counts the most. However, it also has very poor drifting and handling stats. That means whenever I'm challenging myself by playing with the Spear, it always takes a couple races to get used to the controls. Oh, and the mini turbo is real bad, but boy, is this thing fast otherwise. At number 3, we have the Bullet Bike. This is officially our highest lightweight bike. How could a lightweight be so high? Well, inside drift, high speed, plus elite mini turbo and drift stats certainly help with that. The Bullet Bill is the best item, and the Bullet Bike is one of the best carts. Or bike, because it's a bike. At number 2, we have the Mach Bike. Although the number 1 choice is pretty obvious, I kinda enjoy using the Mach Bike more. While our number 1 choice has great drift and mini turbos, the Mach Bike has elite drifts and mini turbos, making turns that much more fun, especially when you combine that with inside drift. Its speed is also above average, though not quite as good as... And finally, at number 1, we have the obvious choice, the Flame Runner. Duh, there's practically no flaws with this thing. It's a heavyweight bike with inside drift. Those are the 3 most important inherent advantages in the game. Then it excels in the 3 most important stats, speed, drift, and mini turbo. Yes, it has poor off-road stats, but as I said in the last video, the goal is to stay on the road. The only real flaw is its poor acceleration, but it's more than made up for that by literally everything else about this bike. Alright folks, so that was my top 36 Mario Kart Wii vehicles. Do you have any favorite vehicles? I mean, I think we all know the Flame Runner is the most viable, but the Shooting Star is a personal favorite of mine, so if you have any personal favorites, please feel free to let me know in the comments, and maybe in the next couple days, there's a certain remix I'm working on. Since it's basically back to quarantine season, I'm working on remixes again. It's of a certain Mario Kart track from Mario Kart Double Dash. Those are the only hints I will give. Bye bye.